Yeah, yeah. Look. TH. Henny of the Douce, caught out on a Tuesday. Excuses don't do usually, but today I'm on my bougie. Used to only do straights, now Givenchy and Lauren Gucci. Need a down ass bitch, wet like switch my own Lapuche. My northern love is south end, she think that I'm so groovy. She come through to the central all the time, it's just a scoop man. But I got my own drive, the Digi Dash look like a movie. Riding around so cool, I got the temp up on jacuzzi. Ready then it's set, my breaker sweat, she wet like Poolsby. Bust it wide open, do that doozy, my Bartusi. Smoking just like Coolsby, funny how that fire suit me. Desired, admired, and aspired, it was mutually. We met out on the hill, her name was Zora, my little Fuji. Knew it was something special, bless you, not too many move me. You don't have to, I'ma let you catch you, come down on me, booby. I won't stress you, don't finesse, who's gonna keep you up and moving? I know you seen me on the hill before.
True.
Probably seen some of my videos.
True.
The streets talk, I don't tend to pay attention. I'm in my own lane, I hope you see the vision. Designer clothes, I'm froze, take a peek. Tell her to keep it low when we freak between the sheets. Ain't in a rush, but I had to let you know. Regardless how it ends, make it unforgettable.
Hey, yo, what up? My name's Maurice, and on this week's episode of Who's Got Next, we have what I say is one of the hardest working artists in Seattle, by the name of Koth.
What up?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man.
Appreciate
How are you?
coming through, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you having
so
me.
much, man.
Good looking, good looking.
I admire your hard work. I admire everything that you're doing for the music scene. I just want to get that out the way now, just to let you know that, because I think you're one of the most hardworking artists here in the city.
Thank you, bro.
So I just want to give you that praise here.
I'm trying.
So you're born and raised in Seattle?
Yeah, born and raised in Seattle, like Skyway, Rainier Beach area is kind of like where I grew up.
Okay.
Majority of my life.
Okay. And where'd you go to school?
I went to school at St. Joe's for K through 8,
Okay.
and then I went to SAS for high school. So I lived in the South End, but I always had like the private school situation like around Capitol Hill.
Yeah. Is that something you liked? I mean, you probably had no choice. But
yeah, it was interesting. I think that it was like something that I didn't enjoy at the time, but that probably has been beneficial as far as like forming the well-rounded life experience to be able to like interact with all different types of walks of life and stuff like that. But yeah, not like having any kids from high school in my neighborhood at all, like, and shit like that was definitely kind of like a distancing thing, or like when they spoke about community and like it was just like a different situation because I was on the 48 every day with all the kids from Meany, just like down the street, you know what I mean? Doing whatever, and then just jumping off on Henderson and catching the 7 from there.
So was it kind of like you were just from the South End, but basically raised up in the CD kind of?
Yeah, I mean, like raised around Capitol Hill, and then like my mom would have me at like Montlake Community Center, like summer camps and stuff. So like she was definitely always trying to have me out of the South End and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of just the way things ended up. But I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. But I mean, I'm good with it. But yeah, it was one of those things where you're like only child, no kids in your neighborhood that were like from your school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So you're kind of trying to find that group to be around a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and then like single mother, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So when it came to music, did your mom kind of introduce you to the music scene, or did you just find your own way to that lane? Like what kind of artists were you listening to, or what was the, how did music get to your life?
My mom always was into music, always listening to music. My dad does music and stuff like that. He's not really in my life like that, but his family was always in my life growing up, and they all do music. My aunt, my uncle, and so music was always around me. My mom was always like playing Cube 93 or whatever, and then like we watch music videos in the morning, like getting ready and stuff. So I'd be listening to anything from like Soundgarden to Salt and Pepper to SWV to Brownstone to, you know what I mean?
Well, that kind of makes sense. That kind of goes
like
with
some Missy Elliott, whatever soundtracks were popping back then. So like when the Set It Off soundtrack dropped, or like when Bone Thugs was dropping like back then, like I mean, I listened to everything kind of coming up. She would listen to whatever too, but she was trying to keep me off the no parental advisory CDs until you're 12 type of thing. But like, I would like cop clean CDs, or I would just like buy CDs from the homies and not have the case for them. You know what I mean? Slick little move like that.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. So And then when it came to that, do you recall like the first rhyme you wrote, or like when you got to the music, how did you know you wanted to become a rapper? Like, who was the artist that may have inspired you to do that?
I listened to a whole bunch of different people. I couldn't say that it was necessarily like one rapper that made me rap, or wanna rap. I wrote a whole bunch of different little things. Like, I think like back in the day, like me and the homies would more so like, we'd be like, yo, write a song for this girl for me, da 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 da. Like, and then like you would 3-way call the girl, and then like 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 the homie would like kind of tell her the song or whatever, and then you would be like on the other line like listening to see like how it went over, type shit like that.
Okay.
But then like my homie had like a jukebox recorder kind of cassette situation. So like when we were in like 7th, 8th grade, we recorded like a couple little random things and stuff like that. And then I just kind of like fell back from it from after that, and like would write randomly in high school, but I never really recorded anything in high school until like junior or senior year.
Okay. Is that kind of where State of the Artist came about?
Well, yeah. So Parker and I went to high school. Parker was recording music and was like doing his thing in high school. And then like our senior year,
Parker's part of Flavor Blue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Hollis and Ike, yeah. So then like he was doing his music thing, and like he had like a senior project or something like that, and I went over to his spot one time and like recorded a verse, and then but then he went to NYU, and like so, and Nate from State of the Artist went to Redlands down in SoCal, so they would both be like away at college, and then they would record music on the summertime. And then like when I was like 20 or something like that, or one of those summers they came back, we started recording music and getting into it. So yeah,
so was it the verse that, because I heard on the Biggest podcast that you wrote a verse to the Lean Back remix? You did
yeah.
Okay.
So Tyler Cordy, who I'm actually doing the show with at the end of this month, and B-Boy Fidget, Marcus Sharp, they had done like a couple little mixtapes and stuff, and I would go to school and I'd be helping them like hustle their mixtapes, and they'd like give me like a little like, oh, you get $2 off of every $10 that you get from a mixtape or whatever. And so I'd be doing that, and then I jumped on a joint with them, and like we never really like put it out, but like, you know, you would send it to your homies and like whatever, and just like have it on a burn CD and play it, and it was just like one of those kind of situations. Yeah.
So that was the Soda Boys, right? That's what you guys go by as
State of the Artist. Soda for short. Yeah. Yeah.
And the first project you guys did collectively was the SeaCal project. That was back in 2010.
Yeah, that was the first album. So we did this project called SEAT Aliens, and we just remixed all the AT Aliens beats. And then from there we like, Parker had like a couple original beats that he did, and there was this project, Shapeshifters came out. There was a project in between that. We did the Hank Moody EP, and then we linked up with Members Only, and that's when we dropped the SeaCal with like all the collaborations with everybody from the town, and like dropped the video with Stephen Gray and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
So that was just one of the many groups you were a part of. So you were part of quite a few other groups, right?
Yeah. So I was a part of one other group with Tayshawn called Hell of a State, and we did a one-off on that. And yeah, so those were the two groups that I did. And then like shortly after that, I started releasing solo material, and then it's just kind of like been that way the whole way.
You went crazy on the solo material. Like you had a long stretch from like 2010 to 2015, man.
Yeah. Dropped a lot of material, dropped a lot of videos, did a lot of shows and stuff like that. And then I just kind of fell back for a minute, just getting myself straight, and just like, I don't know, like the music shit can be draining, and especially when you're putting out that much content. And I felt like it's kind of like that's the era we're in now, but like 2010, people weren't really moving at that speed. So I feel like things were just like going over people's heads, or like getting overshot or overlooked or whatever, just because I would be dropping so much material or whatever.
But what drove you to do that? Like, because you was kind of like on your Currency kind of run, because Currency kind of did that too. He was dropping project after project. So what kind of motivated you to do that?
So like, I don't know. I always like doing like mixtape stuff back in the day. Like I love rapping on other people's beats, and like I just wouldn't have enough production to like come out with new material all the time when I wanted to. But I'd be in the studio like every week, and I'd just like lay down like 5 songs a week or like 3 songs every time I was in the studio. So I'd drop a project and then I'd be like, yeah, that project was hot, but like I think I need to drop a mixtape to like kind of like put the exclamation point at the end. So then I drop like Nonetheless, and then I drop like the More Than Less mixtape like right afterwards, and then have it just be like all mixtape type stuff and like be more spazzing lyrically, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because like some of the trap beats that I would be on like back in that time, it would be like more slow flow, or like the BPM was like a lot different than the stuff that you'll hear me rapping on like these days as KOTH, you know what I mean? So just like adapting and like trying to make sure that everything was getting the right look, but I don't know. I was dropping too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. No, that was cool though, because I mean, you like, what was it? It was in 2012. I want to say you dropped 3 projects like in a row. I want to say it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think every year or not every year, but like I dropped like for the most part 2 projects at least a year. You know what I mean?
And this is all under Thaddeus David, the name.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that just off of my first and middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did it feel to be featured in the XXL Top 15 Rappers of Seattle?
Yeah,
that's a big look, man.
Yeah. They had that top 10 artists to look out for from Seattle, and I was a part of that. That was like kind of right after the Macklemore hype was like starting to get in, and like I don't think he had won a Grammy yet, but like all the attention was on him. You know what I mean? So that was really dope. That was an ill feeling. I woke up to that like not expecting it at all, and was just like went on Twitter and had some mentions that I was mentioned in, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah.
Okay.
It felt real good though. You know what I mean? And especially because it wasn't like a pre-set up situation. There wasn't like somebody that I knew that was like trying to vouch for me for a list or whatever. And yeah, it was dope. And it was early on in that solo career like startup. You know what I mean? I think I had only had like Maven and Apprentice out
at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your group Hell of a State with you and Tay, you guys were featured on Fader as well. You guys performed on the Vitamin Water and Cap.
Yeah. That was
a good
super
look too.
Yeah, and especially during that time period, that was like the first round that they had done it. So it was The Satisfaction, Dime Def, and us. But like in other big cities, like they were getting like French Montana. They had like in New York, they had like Twista in Chicago. They had like Danny Brown in Detroit or like whoever. So whatever city they went to, they were definitely trying to get the top tier. So it was dope to be like mentioned in that same kind of group of conversation. And then like that we were in print on like one of the Fader magazines, and then like on the official like Vitamin Water channel, they did like a little short documentary on us, and like came to the Kingways on MLK.
That.
And shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tay used to stay over there, and like I was in the South End at my mom's
or something. Too.
Yeah. He got a tattoo on his stomach by DK.
Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah. And so with all the music that came out and all the videos you were doing within that time frame, you took a hiatus. What urged you to stop? Making music and content between that time, because it was about 3 years, a 3-year hiatus.
Yeah, it was like 3, maybe a little bit longer, but I don't know. Everything is just like a big investment, like time, financially, like stress wise, and just like I needed some time off, and like I put all that into it, and I was looking for more reciprocation from it at the time, and like just like investing a lot of my energy, time, money, and like needed to work on myself to get myself straight back to where I could even care about it at the same level or have that same type of passion about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I was kind of getting like jaded by the game, I guess, or like jaded by the lack of what I felt like I should be getting for what I was putting out kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you came back under a new moniker, which is KOTH.
Yeah.
So why the name change?
It's just like a new chapter. I felt like with the amount of time that I had off, I just wanted to come fresh. I wanted to come with something that I felt like represented me and represented like my community, but at the same time, I'm not like always talking about Seattle or something like that. But I want to, like Devin the Dude, his first album was Devin, and then the album title was The Dude, or Silk the Shocker. His first album was Silk, and then The Shocker. So like I wanted the first project to be like that formal introduction with the KOTH, King of the Hill. And so, yeah.
So does that tie in with kind of the childhood as well, like living in the South End, coming to the CD? You was always up in the CD.
Yeah, I've always been on Capitol Hill, like my whole entire life. I've never moved away from Seattle. Like Porter and I used to work at this store called Laced Up, like back in the day, and that was like
it's like the hangout spot,
13 years ago or something like that. You know what I mean? I went to Seattle Central. I've done the whole Hill gambit. You know what I'm saying? It felt like an accurate depiction.
Okay. And the TH in your name that can stand for Thaddeus, and then also what is it? Trap Hills?
Also Trap Hill. But also just like whenever I used to introduce myself to people, or like I'll say my name and I'll be like Thaddeus, and they'll be like, huh, Thaddeus? You know what I mean? And I'll be like, nah, TH, you know what I mean? And so like you just got to give them the little first two letters to get them started on the pronunciation to get them proper.
Do people say Koth?
Yeah, people do say Koth.
You hate it?
I don't hate it. I mean, it's whatever. Like, it's just like, as long as you're talking about it, like that's what I want it to be. And like, I feel like there's a lot of artists these days where they have like weird names, or like, and people don't say them right. And then it's like always like a piece of conversation. So, I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? It breaks down to the same thing, right? Yeah. Talk about me. About me.
So basically, the self-titled album, King of the Hill, really dope project. Most of the titles on the song represent streets within that area.
Yeah, for sure.
So that kind of inspired that to go from there.
Yeah. So I had the project done, and like I was just I've been trying to with like the coming back. I've been putting more thought, more strategy into how I can make myself stand out, or how I can make the project resonate more. So the music was done, but I wanted to conceptually come up with something that was dope, that like matched the album cover, that like tied in with me, that like I could explain and kind of like roll out. So after I dropped the album, I was on Instagram, and every day I would just post pictures of me from back in the day on whichever street or whichever area that I was talking about, and just give people some backstory about me and why these streets meant so much to me, and just give them a little bit of history about me too, so that they can know, oh damn, this wasn't just like, because like there's so many people that move to Seattle these days. There's so many people that like are in and out of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just show them how true to the name I am, and like how long I've been down around this area.
I like that, man.
Yeah,
I like that. And shortly after that, you dropped another EP, Small World.
Yeah.
For 4-song EP.
Yeah.
Really dope project as well.
Thank you. I
you dropped
appreciate
the
that.
video for Rain.
Yeah.
What was the concept behind that? What made you inspire that?
So
because
like,
you had the gold, what was it, Corvette?
Yeah, the gold
hard.
Corvette Stingray. Yeah, like in the song, you know, I'm like, I said I want a candy flip flop, but it'll wait till next summer.
Yep.
So like for me, the whole perspective was kind of like the next summer kind of thing, like balling on them. But like during the song, I'm doing the whole instructions and kind of like a little manual, a little like how to or whatever tutorial, if you will. Yeah. And then, but like I'm talking about saving, I'm talking about doing all these different things to like maintain, but at the same time, like in the video, it's more like kind of like on some like extravagant balling type situation. Right. You know what I mean? I don't drive a gold Corvette. I rented it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just wanted to do the other side of it. So yeah, and as well, just like have something that was cinematic, something that was gonna stick out, something that was gonna inspire people, something that was gonna like. You know, I remember being young and watching videos and being like, damn, you got that, or damn, you got this, or damn, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I've always kind of like aspired to have that same kind of effect on people. And like, you know, like some people will think of it as like it attracts hate or whatever, but like it's more so I'm trying to inspire than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. And with that EP, you had a lot of samples on there. Like you had the sample from the SOS band. Man, let me get my list here. You also, did you sample the Mary J. Blige record?
Yeah. Okay. So the Mary J. is on there. Yeah.
And then you also had the Jade sample on there, Don't Walk Away. What? So that kind of resonates with moms playing those records too, right?
Yeah,
And like,
yeah. And just like I still listen to that music from that era, and it just feels good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the test of time. So like that's what I'm working on right now. Just trying to like have everything that I'm doing have that quality or effect where it can like leave that type of legacy where you can look back at it and be proud. Like or like because you know like sometimes people put out a video or they're just like trying to get the cheapest way to get it done because they're trying to like just come out with shit and they're like, but I've done that already.
Yeah,
so I'm just
for sure
trying to make sure that everything's as proper as it could potentially be and that is the best representation of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this, and we kind of talked about this off air, but we talked about hip hop lists. And recently a Seattle hip hop list came out.
Yeah.
It was the GOAT list.
Yes.
For rappers.
The greatest of all time. Top 50.
Top
Seattle.
50. And a few people on there that you collaborated with are on that list.
Yeah, I collaborated with 17 out of the 50 others.
Yeah. So what do you think about that list? Because I didn't recognize the name.
I think it's dope. Like I'm all about putting on for the scene. If it's promoting the city and like shedding light on anybody that's in the city like that, I'm for it. You know what I mean? And if people are going back and looking at these other people's catalogs, they're probably gonna find some shit with me on it. So like, I'm not really tripping. Everybody has their opinions and stuff like that. I think that like a lot of people have had a lot of different responses and stuff like that, but like, I'm not gonna get mad at somebody for having their own opinion and then like voicing it, or like I'm not gonna try and like guilt them into like mentioning me. Like it seems like kind of counterproductive to like the whole effect of like what you be trying to do in the first place. So I don't really try to get caught up in like the things that I'm not mentioned in. I just try and do everything that I can to make sure that I'm mentioned in the next conversation. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I just figured like, you know, you was already part of a few lists already that were pretty creditable. So
I've been a part of some lists. You know,
you know
what
I'm saying?
Like,
so I kind of want to just get your little opinion on that and see what you thought.
It's kind of like when you like go to Ruth Chris and then like afterwards you pass by a McDonald's and you're like, I want a milkshake, but right? I want to, I'm full off of this with Chris right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right.
So that's kind of how I was feeling about that, and no disrespect to the list or anything like that. I'm happy about the list, and like it's something that I'm for, and I think that more people should put out more lists, put out more spotlight. I mean, things like you're doing, like creating a platform for everybody to like get off and show their talents or showcase what the city is putting forth. So I'm all for it.
Appreciate that. Let everybody know what you got coming up.
So I got shows coming up. I got singles coming up. I got an album coming up with Jester. It's called Capital. 7 songs on it. I got Peasy on it, Gifted Gab on it, and Teaspoon on it.
Shout out Gifted Gab.
Yeah. Shout out all the artists on there. Jester did all the production. Just a lot more content. I'm coming with videos all the time and just trying to make sure that everything is up to par and that like trying to be unavoidable. You know what I mean? Like just in your face with it to the point where it's like, damn, I how can I not?
So you're about to make that run again like you did back then.
Well, I'm kind of in the midst of the run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's more of like a Iron Man, you know what I mean, marathon than like, shout out Nipsey and all that. But like, it's like, it's like I'm swimming, I'm running, I'm on the bike. I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure this shit's popping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let everybody know where they can follow you.
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram at THKOTH206. Same on Twitter. Thaddeus David is all the old material that we were talking about. But I'm focused on everything that's new coming up and putting my best foot forward. So be sure to keep a lookout for everything that I got going on. And I'm going to keep on trying to provide y'all with that dope content, dope music. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to Gardner Studios, also to the Manzano Bros behind the cameras, and also to the audio guy, Keith from Soundcasting Network. Thank you so much. Peace.
Love.
I'm a rider like Jay Clyde, a hustler the jack. Nigga want an AP cost 39, some feds will clap, kill your life. Familiar to the death of me, breath of my heart stop. Made my own little recipe, next to me can't drop. Shit, I'm trying to leave a legacy, level me up top. Want a candy flip flop, but it'll wait till next summer. Till then, I'm in my Honda on the under like a runner, trying to kick some game like punters to all of my young stunners. First, get your funds up to become independent. Know it's gonna be hard, but say fuck the chain and pendant. Think before you spend it, shit you only need to stack. You can't put nobody on if you ain't on, and that's a fact. Put your mental on it, all your focus, it'll come fast. Once you get it fast, get a safe deposit box. It ain't safe where you lay, even if it's under lock. Need to make it disappear, then it's crypto or the stock. Are you still really dedicated to the game? You moved on, now you living simple plain. I want it all, I'm trying to keep it under rain. Oh, you thought that you could leave it dead and gone. Had a craving for the lobster, steak and prawns. Come on, be honest, know you want your money long. Temptation Island can't be wildin' with that work on ya. Road trip, stop to smoke to keep a mild aroma. When you're texting, gotta switch your words to keep it coded. Alter my clothing to disguise and my box corroded. Box corroded, don't condone it, might just get imploded. Shit y'all exposing, you gotta stay in motion. I'm so devoted, so my hustle seeing all my focus. I put some voodoo on the dope, it doubled hocus pocus. Quick told me money look best invisible. Put 25K in the dry, enhance my visual. My ice because of cream like brides, for me it's pivotal. Future's unpredictable, no limits like I'm mystical. It's typical, but the exception in my circumstance. I even got a part-time so I could buy some land. Jacket off, white, Trump light, Casa old school, a Mary T and denim. I'ma make it back on Pro Tools. Are you still really dedicated to the game? You moved on, now you living simple plain. I want it all, I'm trying to keep it under rain. Oh, you thought that you could leave it dead and gone. Had a craving for the lobster, steak and prawns. Come on, be honest, know you want your money long. Who's got next? Koth, King of the Hill, yeah. Goblin ENT, yeah. Let's go, look, yeah.